You could see new businesses along I-35 in Waco after city leaders approved a major public-private partnership tonight.
The agreement includes millions of dollars in public infrastructure improvements and financial incentives aimed at attracting nationally recognized retailers to a more than 250-acre site near New Road and Highway 6.
News 10's Jasmine Lotz explains what the project could bring to Waco and the questions that still remain. Jasmine.
Yeah, that's right, Lauren and Gordon. The city says with this multi-million-dollar partnership tied to the project, the development could bring long-term economic growth to the area while also expanding Waco's retail footprint. This empty plot of land could soon have major retailers like Target, Costco, or IKEA. According to city documents, the agreement between the City of Waco and Waco Gateway LLC supports development on roughly 252 acres between New Road and Loop 340. City Manager Ryan Holt says the site has been on developers' horizon for a while.
This piece of property, a lot of people have looked at it for a long time. And we just happen to be at a point in a place where we could put a framework into place.
Under the agreement, the city could spend up to $33 million on roadway and infrastructure improvements tied to the project. That includes a northern roadway phase connected to a proposed warehouse-style retailer and a second phase tied to additional big box retail development. City documents say the development would need to generate at least $3.5 million annually in sales tax revenue before reimbursements apply. However, the city has not publicly identified the retailers connected to the project.
Until the details are worked out, that brands don't always like to give up their intellectual property.
Holt says the agreement is designed to protect taxpayers by tying infrastructure spending to development benchmarks and deadlines. Still, because the city would front millions of dollars in infrastructure costs before the project's long-term success is fully known, questions remain about how much financial risk taxpayers could ultimately carry if the development underperforms.
Infrastructure projects would not go forward unless those keys were met. And in this case, we're utilizing what's called TIF4, or tax increment finance zone money, so it would not be the general fund of the city supporting that debt.
Holt says the project represents one of the last large-scale development opportunities along I-35 within Waco city limits.
When you allow that type of development to go outside the city, then our local taxpayers don't benefit from the sales tax and the ad valorem or property tax increases that can come from this type of development.
Holt says the city and the developer will discuss their goals for the site. Then once a formal development agreement is reached with the retailer, he says it could return to the council as a public document. In the studio, Jasmine Lotz, KWTX News 10.